True Story Media.
Say hello to the all-new Alexa Plus and see how Alexa can do so much more for you. Need tickets to see your favorite artist? Craving your comfort restaurant? Just sit back, relax, and talk naturally. Alexa's on it. It learns your style, anticipates what's next, and makes it happen across Echo, Fire TV, and more. Learn more at amazon.com/new Alexa.
Vitamin Water Zero Sugar has great taste, zero BS, and obviously zero sugar. For those with zero room in their calendar. Zero patience for slow walkers. Those who get 0 hours of sleep on a Saturday night. Have zero filter, zero given, and zero interest in grabbing a plain, boring water. Grab a delicious Vitamin Water Zero Sugar today.
This podcast contains adult themes and language, and some of the things that we discuss may be disturbing to some listeners. In this podcast, we discuss sexual assault, torture, race, and murder. Listener discretion is advised. Please take care of yourself.
Welcome to Fruitloops, Buiti Binafi, and Bienvenidos Bitches. Thank you so much for listening. Fruitloops is a true crime, history, and comedy podcast that delves into the often overlooked stories of serial killers of color and, more importantly, the victims. We take deep dives into the lives and crimes of these killers worldwide, while also examining the history, culture, and social factors that may have influenced their actions. And the reason that we cover these crimes is because they often go unnoticed by the public. And why is that? Because in the simplest of terms, the news is racist. Allegedly.
And we are Wendy and Beth. She's Wendy, a Black Latinx woman, and I'm Beth, and I just happen to be white. That's just a little piece of who we are. Another piece is that although we are both fascinated by true crime, really fascinated by true crime, and we know a lot about it, keep in mind that we are not journalists, investigators, or psychologists, and the opinions expressed in this podcast are just that, our opinions.
All right, my friend. Who are we talking about today?
Well, during the holiday season of 1984 and 1985, Oakland, California was rocked by a series of brutal attacks by Anthony Renee Wimberly, crimes that claimed the lives of 3 women and left the community reeling. This is our episode 265 about Anthony Renee Wimberly.
265.
Yeah.
Wow.
Can you believe it?
I'm looking at that number and thinking 2026 we'll hit 300.
Yeah. Yeah, we should.
That's monumental, my friend. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of us.
I'm proud of you.
Wow.
I'm proud of the Fruitloops community.
Yes, and the Fruities, man, we couldn't hit 300 without y'all. So stay tuned because we have to figure something out to do that makes it special.
Yeah,
anyway,
definitely. If you got any ideas, let us know.
Let us know. And that leads me to my next question. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. Getting ready for Christmas. And when this airs, it will be Christmas Day. So Merry Christmas, everyone.
Whoa, Christmas on a Thursday. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Merry Christmas.
I absolutely love that. I'm doing the same. All the stuff's out to decorate, but haven't had any time to put it up because, my dog went into labor sooner than expected. And she labored from yesterday afternoon, pick up from school time, until this evening.
Oh, poor baby.
She had 18 puppies. She's a mastiff.
Shit.
And that's pretty crazy.
Is that normal or?
Not at all normal.
Not at all. Okay.
And old Whitey, in my head imagined old Whitey being here to like help me because he knows a lot more about dogs and he's
That
like
kind of
been through
stuff,
this kind of thing. Yeah. And it was just all me and my daughter.
Where was
helped
old Whitey?
A friend of ours passed away.
Oh, no. Shit.
So
Oh, my God.
old Whitey is consoling them. He flew to LA to be with them.
God.
Yeah.
That is really sad.
I know. But I was really grateful, that, we could swing something like that. Right. And I'm just sometimes like, oh my God, that's my man. What a good guy, what a good dude to go and like be there for the people that you love.
Family and friends, yeah.
Yeah. And I think it's important that our kids see that this is something that you do when somebody you cares about is going through something. If you can be there to help them, you should.
Yeah.
So anyway, I'm flying solo, 18 pups.
Wow.
And Google was my guide. Unfortunately, 2 didn't survive. And I
think that's probably got to be pretty normal with a litter that size. Yeah,
I don't know. But I tried to like save the 2 that didn't make it. And it just sucks. Yeah. But life and death is constant. And I mean, if you're here, that's part of the,
you have to
that's
deal
just
with
part of it.
Yeah.
Right. And so we had that friend that died. And, we were talking about 3 murder victims, 3 people who lost their lives in this story tonight. And, all those puppies being born and alive reminded my spirit that you can't have life without death and vice versa, and how important both of them are. And it made me think a lot about the circle of life. So, yes, ma'am. But now let's move on. We don't have this little discussion every episode, but feel like it's important to say because it's been a while. Before we get into this episode, we got to remind y'all this is a podcast that covers true crime involving people of color and minoritized people. And that means that we talk about real human beings' lives, real systems that affect people, and some real shit. So sometimes things can be heavy. Sometimes we have to laugh to keep from crying. And sometimes it's both those things at once.
Yeah.
And race and crime are challenging topics, but we believe it's part of the world that we live in. And we believe in facing them with honesty, curiosity, and care. So this Fruit Loops Serial Killers of Color is a space where we can learn and unlearn things together. And we know, we're not always going to get it perfect or right, but we will own our mistakes. We guarantee it. And grow from them and keep it moving on our collective quest to be our best sexy selves. Amen?
Yeah. And we welcome our listeners to be a part of the conversation on Facebook or Blue Sky at Fruit Loops Pod, or email us at fruitloopspod@gmail.com.
All right. So let's take a quick break and then we'll get into the story when we come back.
All right.
Rain-X wipers are the #1 wiper blades in America. That means all kinds of drivers choose Rain-X. Big drivers in small cars choose Rain-X. Small drivers in big cars choose Rain-X. Drivers with long hair and short commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with short hair and long commutes choose Rain-X. Drivers with pets on board, babies on board, and bored babies on board choose Rain-X. Basically, drivers who love a clear view of the road all choose Rain-X wipers, the #1 wiper blades in America.
From writer-director Ryan Johnson.
The Holy Grail. A perfectly impossible crime.
Wake Up Dead Man has critics singing its praises.
God help me. Anything else?
It's a deliciously entertaining mystery.
That's nice.
It's certified fresh.
It's a miracle.
Okay, you're freaking me out now.
It's the best Knives Out movie yet.
This case is solvable, right?
Oh, you'll see. It's fun.
Wake Up Dead Man, a Knives Out mystery starring Daniel Craig. Now playing on Netflix.
Now we're back. We're back. And Beth, if you wouldn't mind,
Sure.
could you remind us who our subject is today?
Absolutely.
Oh,
Our subject today is Anthony Rene Wimberly, a Black man who killed 3 women in Oakland, California between December 1984 and January 1985.
Okay, now it is time for Love and Light, where we say rest in power to the victims whose lives were cut way too short, and love and light and healing energy to their loved ones, and communities left in the wake of this crime. Those who were murdered, their names are Anne Arevalo, 24, Marilyn A. Moore, 35, and Doris Wong Lee, 62. And there were a couple of victims who were wounded, but they survived. An unnamed 12-year-old girl and Vicky J. Russo, who was 35 years old. Now let's get into the setting and the early life of Wembley.
All right. So before we get into this timeline of the crimes, let's take a minute to ground ourselves in where all of this happened.
Ooh, I love grounding.
Yes,
It's
let's
my
do
favorite.
it. The setting is Oakland, California, located on the east side of the San Francisco Bay, and it's also known as the East Bay.
The San Francisco motherfucking Bay, and AKA Oaktown or the biggity O, if you're nasty. So the East Bay was home to the Ohlone people for thousands of years before the Spanish invasion, which began in 1772 when Spanish explorers, I don't even know why we still call them that, but entered Ohlone territory. Permanent colonization followed soon after, with the establishment of Mission San Jose in 1797, which marked the start of organized displacement, forced labor, and population collapse for the Ohlone people.
But large-scale Anglo settlement didn't begin until after 1848, following the Mexican-American War and the Gold Rush. The landscape of Oakland changed dramatically throughout the 19th and early 20th centuries. What had long been Mexican ranchos and indigenous homelands was quickly overtaken by American expansion following the Mexican-American War.
Now, the gold rush accelerated this transformation, drawing waves of newcomers who pushed development outward. Soon after the arrival of major railroad lines, which is very important to why the Black population in Oakland is so vast, particularly the Transcontinental Railroad terminus, cemented Oakland's role as a vital transportation and commercial hub, setting the stage for the city's early growth and diverse communities.
It can be hard to picture now, but before Oakland became a fully urban landscape, agriculture was central to the early economy. Much of the East Bay consisted of ranchland, flower and plant nurseries, orchards, and vegetable farms. Areas like Fruitvale literally got their name from the fruit orchards and vineyards once common there. Even West Oakland, now heavily industrial, had patches of farmland in the late 1800s.
So crazy to think about, like the landscape
really is.
back then and how,
I love looking at pictures of places before like industrialization.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it just, I don't know. It's just interesting.
Oh, I'm like picturing it and I am getting warm, tingly feelings. So, yeah, I get it. Now, after the Civil War, Black migrants from the South, or I guess migrant is appropriate, but I also like to call them refugees.
Yeah.
From the South, Black sailors and rail workers, especially Pullman porters, built thriving communities in West Oakland, creating churches, social clubs, and businesses that laid the foundation for one of the West Coast's most important Black cultural centers.
Racist housing practices such as redlining, racial covenants, and exclusionary zoning restricted where Black families could live. Oakland, particularly West Oakland and parts of North Oakland, became areas where Black people were able to buy or rent homes, even though discrimination, of course, was still rampant. But those were areas that they could live. This created dense, vibrant Black neighborhoods known for music, activism, and culture.
Now, at the same time, Chinese immigrants arriving amid gold rush labor demands and later railroad construction faced harsh exclusion laws and violent displacement, including the destruction of early East Bay Chinatowns.
Japanese immigrants worked at and established farms, small businesses, and formed community hubs until mass incarceration during World War II devastated their neighborhoods. Mexican and Central American laborers continued to work in agriculture, ranching, and later railroad and industrial jobs, though they also faced deep discrimination and displacement.
As the city expanded, farmland was gradually replaced by neighborhoods and industry. In Oakland, much like in cities across the country, communities of color were deeply harmed by the federal redlining policies of the 1940s and the 1950s, but they continued long after that.
Yeah. These discriminatory lending practices denied Black, Latino, and other non-white residents access to home ownership, cutting them off from crucial avenues of wealth building. As white flight accelerated in the 50s and 60s, and investment shifted to the suburbs, their neighborhoods were left to deteriorate.
The construction of Highway 17, now I-880, the Nimitz Freeway, carved directly through the heart of Oakland's Black community, disrupting social networks and local economies while physically severing the area from downtown. Homes and businesses were demolished to build the Cypress Viaduct and related freeway structures. So all those people, all those communities established, moved.
And they just run a freeway
for
through
a
it.
highway.
Yeah. I
That's
feel
so
like
fucked up.
every city, it's the same story.
It is.
Yeah.
You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
You are 100% right.
We've told this story so many times.
I know.
Just
265 times.
Just different names of the people, the cities, the communities, but it's the same story.
And this is America.
And this is Oakland. Okay.
This is our America. Yeah.
Additional urban renewal initiatives continued to reshape West Oakland. Entire blocks around Market and 7th Streets were demolished to make way for the Acorn Projects, a series of housing projects in West Oakland, named so because it was felt that an acorn is symbolic for future and growth.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Urban renewal is a euphemism for Negro removal.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But except for, I don't think that's what this was, because they put in the Acorn Projects, which, you know, it was mostly Black people who lived there. So in this case, it was not that, but still, this is the same story we get every time too. Here's these projects. Everybody go live here. You can't have houses. You can live in these projects, and then they don't take care of them, and then they wonder why. What happened? What we gave them places to live. You know?
Yeah. What if you guys never took their homes away in the first place for a highway?
Yeah,
build it somewhere else. I mean, I think it's a very valid question.
Yes,
Why
it
here?
is.
Why here? Is it just because Black people live here?
Yeah,
that's really fucked up. Later, during BART construction in the 1960s and 70s, even more homes, businesses, and historic buildings were torn down, further altering the neighborhood's landscape. These developments displaced many Black and Latino families.
Black residents were pushed farther east, particularly into the Elmhurst district and nearby neighborhoods, while Latino families increasingly settled in the Fruitvale area.
So just a quick, and actually it might not be that quick, but a culture corner from Wendy and Beth about why is Oakland so Black? Now, I grew up in San Jose and went to Oakland frequently. That's where I would buy all my hair when I got my hair braided.
Oh.
Yeah, there was always people to visit in Oakland and stuff to do in Oakland. And again, Oakland is very Black, and I always wondered why, because the rest of the Bay Area isn't quite like that. I mean, the rest of California is not like that. Even LA does have like Black parts, but Oakland is a different kind of
very
special
Black.
Yeah. And there's a lot of reasons for it. The Great Migration, which we touched on, people fleeing Jim Crow for safety and better job opportunities. We talked about the railroad and the train routes, how Black people worked on those railroads as porters and building the railroads. And so there's that.
Part of the draw.
Part of the draw. Before the Great Migration began, the population in Oakland was like 3%. And then by 1980, the Black population was 47%.
Wow.
Very Black. Black people are only like 13 or 14% of the population. Right. But you could feel it and see it. And Northern California also has military bases. And there also was major industrial manufacturing. So that created employment opportunities. Oakland's economy grew after World War II, attracting Black Americans looking for good jobs in industries like shipyards. The Bay Area also played a big role in, like, timing wise, the civil rights movement. And there, the Black Panther Party was formed in Oakland, sort of solidifying Oakland's importance as this hub for Black activism and Black culture. There was economic factors, like we talked about, but, Silicon Valley is in the Bay Area. Mm-hmm. And a lot of the Black people I knew worked at those companies. So there was also opportunities for middle-class jobs in Northern California that maybe there didn't exist in other parts of the United States. And last thing I wanted to say was notable Blacks from Oakland include rapper Too Short, MC Hammer, Bill Russell, Jack Johnson, the boxer, and Zendaya.
Oh, wow.
And that's it.
Very cool. Thanks for that Culture Corner.
Happy to help. So it's against this backdrop in Oaktown that Anthony Rene Wimberly was born on October 26th, 1962, in Antioch in the East Bay, entering a world already marked by instability. His father, Ray Lee, worked for Pacific Gas and Electric, the PG&E.
Yep.
My mom used to always be like, the PG&E bill is going to get cut off. I forgot to pay the PG&E bill. Mom, how come the lights won't turn on? Anyway, stuff like that. PG&E, Pacific Gas and Electric, while his mother, Gwendolyn Williams, was unemployed.
The two were never married, and when Anthony was a year old, his mother married another man, A.D. Wimberly of Oakland. That marriage ended in divorce when Anthony was still very young.
Afterward, Gwendolyn, who called her son Tony, left California to work in nursing homes in Tacoma, Washington, and later Minnesota, eventually returning to Oakland when Tony was 9. It's unclear whether he accompanied her during those years or stayed behind with relatives.
One account reports that he lived for a time with his 14 aunts and uncles and their children.
Wow.
In a household where there was said to be more drugs and guns than food. And Tony would steal so he and his cousins could eat. Another alleged that his mother taught him to steal.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So Gwendolyn went on to have 2 daughters after Tony, and she later recalled that Tony saw himself as the man of the house, quote unquote, taking pride in caring for her, his mom, and his sisters, cooking for them and giving them small gifts. But descriptions of Gwendolyn paint a harsh picture. She was reportedly a bad-tempered alcoholic who frequently told Tony she wished he were dead.
Not good. Yeah, not good.
No, you can see the beginnings, and they don't look good.
No. By adolescence, Tony was already getting entangled in the juvenile justice system. In 1976, at just 14 years old, he was arrested for attacking a 10-year-old girl, ordering her into the bushes, and when she refused, thrusting a knife toward her before fleeing. Yeah.
Oh, my
He was sent to a group
Lord.
home in Oroville, where he spent the next 9 months.
After his release, he was arrested for robbery and sent to a closed California Youth Authority facility in Stockton, where he stayed for 11 months. And California Youth, it just sounds like, oh, it's just juvie. But it was like, it's not regular juvie. It's like hard prison for
Yikes.
kids.
That's terrible.
Exactly. He was paroled in 1978, and he returned to custody 6 months later for another burglary before being released again in January of 1980. So a lot of institutionalization for this young man.
Yep. Oakland in the 1980s was a city wrestling with the fallout of deindustrialization, rising unemployment, and growing disinvestment in Black and working class neighborhoods. These pressures created conditions that fueled crime, but for some folks also forged deep community resilience as families struggled to stay afloat amid rapid social and economic change.
Yeah, I mean, what are the options, right? That's when community needs each other the most.
Yeah.
When people are struggling. So that makes sense that it became deeper, that sense of community resilience. But not for Tony Wimberly.
No.
Meet the computer you can talk to. With Copilot on Windows, working, creating, and collaborating is as easy as talking. Got writer's block? Share your screen with Copilot Vision to help spark inspiration, and use Copilot Voice to have a conversation and brainstorm ideas. Or maybe you need some tech help. With Copilot Vision, Copilot sees what you see. Let Copilot talk you through step-by-step guidance so you can master new apps, games, and skills faster. Try now at windows.com/Copilot.
Rated E for everyone. Includes in-game purchases. Includes random items. EA Sports FC 26 is here. Play your way this holiday season with an overhauled gameplay experience powered by community feedback. Enjoy festive upgrades in Ultimate Team with Winter Wildcards. Take on holiday-themed challenges and manage your career, like navigating the busy Christmas period. And team up with friends and clubs with new tournaments and live events. The club is yours. Give the gift of football with EA Sports FC 26.
Following his parole, he enrolled at Castle Mount High School in East Oakland, but he struggled academically, managing to pass only 2 classes, although he did excel at basketball and football there.
On November 4th, at age 18, he broke into an East Oakland home, tied a 12-year-old boy to a chair, and ransacked the house, fleeing when the boy's mother returned.
Although he was arrested, he later posted bail. He enrolled in an adult day school, but never attended. And when questioned by parole officers, he claimed, without verification, that he had briefly worked installing air filters for a San Francisco company.
His criminal behavior escalated in 1981 when on June 12th, he stole a brand new Lincoln Continental from a garage.
What?
And just 5 days later was caught burglarizing a home using that car. So that's pretty brazen.
Yeah, no kidding. Holy cow.
He ultimately pleaded guilty to robbery and burglary and received a 3-year sentence at Solano State Prison in Vacaville, beginning his term on September 2nd, 1981.
A Lincoln Continental did used to be like the car, right? Like,
yeah, it was.
So, hey, I get it was alluring.
Yeah.
But to steal the whole thing, and he was barely, 18?
Yeah.
At this point? Yeah.
Yeah.
Prefrontal cortex, not fully formed yet.
Not even formed.
not even the size of a pea. So although he did have a long rap sheet, authorities always considered him a quiet, reserved type who did not have violent tendencies. He was an exemplary prisoner with no disciplinary problems.
Which I read is unheard of. Like, they usually there's something.
Yeah.
But he had nothing on his record.
Interesting.
He was released on parole on May 28, 1983. However, that September, he returned to San Quentin State Prison for grand theft auto and violating his parole conditions.
Oopsies.
A year later, on September 3rd, 1984, he was released on parole once again, right before the holiday season, and he moved in with his mother in the Acorn Projects.
So now let's get into the timeline. So within a remarkably short time span, Wimberly's behavior took a disturbing turn as his crimes escalated sharply. Just 2 months after his parole, on November 8th, 1984, a 12-year-old girl in Oakland was confronted by an intruder who had broken into her family's home. That intruder was Wimberly.
At gunpoint, he forced her to give him her parents' jewelry box. He then bound and gagged the young girl, jamming a pillowcase over her head before brutally raping her. Afterward, Wimberly pressed a pillow over her face and shot her twice, leaving her for dead.
Oh my. Remarkably, she survived. The shots hit her upper arm and breast, and she played dead until Wimberly left. Smart girl.
Yeah.
She then managed to free herself and call police, who arrived to find the house ransacked and a screen removed from the bedroom window, the point where her attacker had entered.
The girl was hospitalized for 2 days. This was the most violent act of Wimberly's life up to that point, and a warning that his crimes were moving quickly into predatory territory.
In the days that followed, right as Christmas and New Year's approached, while people were finishing their holiday shopping and putting presents under the tree, Wimberly went right back to breaking into houses. But this time, his crimes were more violent. he became bolder, and within weeks, 3 women were dead.
2 days before Christmas, on December 23rd, 1984, Wimberly broke into the home of Anne Aravello, a 24-year-old secretary and mother of 6-month-old twin baby daughters. He raped her and then shot her in the head. Afterwards, he hid her body in a closet, then ransacked the home before fleeing, leaving her babies in another room.
Oh my God, they were home.
Yes.
Relatives found Anne Arevalo inside the closet, nude and bleeding profusely from 3 small caliber bullet wounds. Her baby girls were found crying but physically unharmed. Several items appeared to be missing.
The bullet slugs recovered from her body were matched against the bullets fired in the attack on November 8th. And neighbors described a black man seen leaving the Aravello home, and forensics experts recovered latent fingerprints that did not match surviving members of the family.
Wimberly struck again on January 24th, 1985, at a beauty salon on West Oakland's historic Bret Harte Boardwalk. He confronted the 2 hairdressers working that day, Marilyn A. Moore, 35, and a mother of a 7-year-old girl, and 35-year-old Vicky J. Russo.
He demanded money. When they told him they didn't have any, he forced them into the back of the shop, ordered them to lie down, and shot them multiple times. Marilyn died from her injuries. Vicky survived but was critically wounded. Wimberly stole the keys to Vicky's van and fled.
Responding to reports of gunfire, police arrived to find the salon's doors and windows secured with burglar bars, preventing entry. Firefighters forced their way inside, where they discovered the 2 victims, Marilyn in a rear closet and Vicky gravely injured but alive.
She was able to describe their assailant and reported the theft of her van. Officers issued an all-points bulletin, quickly spotting the stolen vehicle, but Wimberly escaped on foot, disappearing into the Acorn projects.
Oh. A week later, on January 31st, 1985, Wimberly broke into the Oakland Hills home of 62-year-old Doris Wong Lee. What began as a burglary ended in murder. Doris was discovered shot multiple times at close range with a small caliber weapon, her body covered with a blanket, as if her killer had attempted to hide or soften the brutality of his crime. And he hid the other bodies, right? In closet.
One of them was in a closet. Let's see, 2 were in closets. So it was Anne and Marilyn who were in closets.
Mm-hmm.
And Doris may also have been in a closet too. But it's notable that she was covered with a blanket.
Yeah. Yeah, I just, OG.
Interesting.
Isn't that important? OG of true crime?
It is. Yeah, it's kind of a signature. Yeah.
So now let's get into the investigation and the arrest. Hit it, Beth.
The investigation closed in fast. On February 5th, police arrested Wimberly in his home at the Acorn Projects on a tip from an informant. The informant said that he did not want the $30,000 reward money. Instead, he wanted it to go to Marilyn Moore's 7-year-old daughter.
Wow.
Yeah.
The day Wimberly was arrested on what would have been Anne Arevalo's 25th birthday, her husband, Jose de Jesus Arevalo, said the timing felt like more than coincidence. He saw it as something spiritual, an answer to his prayers.
Wimberly's fingerprints matched those lifted from the December crime scene, and he was picked out of a lineup by one of the surviving victims. Wimberly was further identified by patrolmen and a surviving gunshot victim as the perpetrator of the January 24th attack.
Oh, fingerprints.
Yeah, fingerprints.
Look at that. I like that.
Good old-fashioned investigating fingerprints.
I sometimes I get bummed out. Not bummed out, but like, there's not going to be any DNA in this story.
But there's
that's
other
okay.
forensic
There's other
evidence,
forensic stuff.
Mm-hmm.
You love to see it. So during questioning, Wimberly admitted to several of the crimes, but denied responsibility for the killings, claiming that he had been there to burglarize, but other men committed the murders. It wasn't me.
It wasn't me.
Your Honor. It was, As for the 12-year-old girl, he said it was consensual. Oh, give me a fucking break. And she only protested when someone came home unexpectedly.
Yeah. And then so he shot her. Yeah.
Yeah.
That
okay.
makes sense.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I can't. I just don't know what to make of Wimberly, and we'll get to it in the tapes.
Crazy.
Yeah.
He also claimed that he was having consensual sex with Anna Arevalo when two men barged in suddenly and killed her in a dispute over a debt. He admitted to being at the beauty salon, but claimed it was a man named Donald who shot Marilyn and Vicky.
Oh,
So
a man named
Trump did it.
Donald. I was totally thinking, because that's the only Donald at the top of my mind right now. Right, but
Could have been
that's
Donald
way less believable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So eventually he did confess to murdering, and watch us get on some watch list after we said that. FBI, are you listening?
Guess I'm not going to be able to visit Minnie in Canada anymore.
Or,
or they won't let me back in.
But do you really want to come back in? I mean,
not really. No.
In these United States right now? Okay.
In 4 years, maybe.
So eventually he did confess to murdering Marilyn Moore and Ana Maria Arevalo, and to raping the 12-year-old girl on November 8th. He also acknowledged breaking into the home of Doris Wong Lee, though he continued to claim he did not kill her and insisted that two men named Duke and Steve did it. Which, I mean, it feels like Duke and Steve is probably like a brand of something, like a brand of Duke and Steve laundry detergents, or Duke and Steve soap. Liquor. Yeah. It just, and it was just like, he just washed his hands with some Duke and Steve soap, and he was like, it was Duke and Steve. Yeah, they did it. So he claimed Duke and Steve were the ones responsible for Doris Wong Lee's death. Yeah. Okay.
So, despite his denial, investigators linked him to all three murders through a combination of his own statements, forensic evidence, ballistics, fingerprints, and stolen items recovered during the investigation. Both Vicky Russo's van and Doris Lee's car were found abandoned near the housing project where Wimberly lived, further tying him to the crimes.
Okay. So now let's get into the trial. So prosecutors believed the evidence against Wimberly was overwhelming. I agree. They had his fingerprints, stolen property linked to multiple victims, forensic evidence from the scenes, and his confession, though he continued to deny involvement in Doris's murder, which is interesting why he denies that one.
Yeah, I don't know.
But even without a full admission, the physical evidence created a tight chain linking him to all three killings. Got him!
Wimberly was charged with 20 counts total. 3 counts of special circumstance murder, 2 counts of attempted murder, 3 counts of residential burglary, 1 count of non-residential burglary, 5 counts of robbery, 2 counts of rape, and 4 counts of being an ex-felon in possession of a gun. Prosecutors announced that they would pursue the death penalty.
Oh, you know what? I can't believe we didn't bring this up in the setting, but this is when the war on crime begins.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
And punishment. Mm-hmm. You know, punishment just for the sake of punishment without like really any thought into the harm punishment could do in and of itself. So that's the 80s. And for context, I thought that was important. Anyway, so prosecutors emphasized the escalating nature of his criminal behavior, arguing that the murders were the culmination of a long pattern of break-ins, assaults, and increasingly brazen home invasions.
Defense attorneys attempted to cast doubt on the prosecution's timeline and challenged the reliability of Wimberly's partial confession, stressing that he had been under pressure during the questioning.
So Wimberly and his family alleged he had been beaten to get a confession. In particular, Wimberly alleged the police had choked him and punched him repeatedly in the chest and stomach. His defense also hinted at a troubled upbringing. One therapist testified Wimberly's pent-up rage and his chaotic childhood were manifested in his crimes.
The jury deliberated for a relatively short time before returning guilty verdicts on 19 out of 20 counts. The pattern of the crimes, the forensic evidence, and Wimberly's own statements left little room for alternative explanations.
Jurors were particularly moved by the fact that the murders happened so close together during a season when most families were celebrating, highlighting the rapid escalation of his violence.
The penalty phase of the trial proved far more difficult. 3 separate juries deadlocked, forcing a judge to make the final determination.
The Lincoln Wishlist sales event is happening now. Here's what's on everyone's wish list. Enjoying holiday jingles with brilliant 3D audio that surrounds you? Check. Watching snow flurries through the panoramic Vista roof? Check. Packing up presents with the spacious Lincoln Splitgate? Check. Everything you want. All standard on the 2025 Lincoln Navigator SUV. Visit your local Lincoln retailer or learn more at Lincoln.com for exceptional offers on 2025 Lincoln vehicles today.
In 1994, at age 31, so all the way to 1994.
The year of the crime bill.
Yeah. Wimberly was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. The judge emphasized the terror his crimes had inflicted on the community, the severity of the violence, and the complete disregard for human life shown in each attack.
Hey, I don't always say this, but this judge really seemed to get it.
I don't disagree.
I no lies detected, Your Honor.
Yep.
So the repeated proceedings came at a steep cost. Alameda County taxpayers ultimately paid $2.3 million on 3 trials. That's wild.
That was just for the penalty phase.
Oh.
Because they were trying to get the death penalty. So they did it 3 times.
That is insanity.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yep.
Also, long time since the death penalty used to be, in my head as a kid in the 80s, it just seemed like everybody got the death penalty.
You get a death penalty and you get a death penalty.
Yeah, they just handed them out.
Everybody gets a death penalty.
But seriously, and I think a lot of it has to do with the country and the country's leadership position on crime at the time. Like, if we do the death penalty, then it will prevent crimes.
Stop. Yeah.
But do you know what happened? That didn't happen at all.
Yeah.
So now let's get into where are they now? Tell us, Beth.
Well, in the years that followed his incarceration, it's said that Wimberly became a very religious and devoted Bible scholar who helped other inmates. And that was actually talked about in the trials in the penalty phase. And the jury, one of the reasons why they kept deadlocking was because the jury believed he was sincere in his conversion. So
interesting.
Yeah, just part of what I read. Don't know if it's true that he was sincere, but they believed it.
Yeah. I mean, 3 juries.
3 juries,
that's,
yeah.
Yeah.
That's something.
So it must have been moving enough to move that many people.
Right.
So.
And he is currently serving his sentence at Mule Creek State Prison, where he continues to be held today.
Wow. Well, that is all for the story. Beth and I are going to tell you what we thought of this case and some of the things that came to our minds as we went through this case. But please, feel free, Fruities listening, please tell us what you think about this case.
Yeah.
So, Beth, what are your spicy hot takes?
Well, his early life, was definitely a factor.
Yeah.
They said it was marked by instability, and one therapist described it as chaotic with crowded living conditions and very little adult supervision. And honestly, this case leaves me with far more questions than answers.
Interesting.
Like, what actually happened to him during the time when his mother went to Washington and I think it was Wisconsin or Minnesota?
Right.
Who was caring for him? Was he living in that house then? Was his mom not there? did he go
Yeah.
with her or,
Yeah.
what? I don't know. Nobody,
Yeah.
I didn't read anything about that. They made it sound like she left without him, but I don't know for sure.
Okay.
And then there's San Quentin. That was the last prison he was at before he went on this killing spree. Whatever he experienced there, he emerged far worse than when he went in. I mean, they described him as somebody who was quiet or reserved is what they said. And they didn't really see violent tendencies. But when he came out, he's out killing,
Yeah. I mean, almost immediately
Yeah,
after he got out. Yeah.
Like September, October, November. Yeah, 2 months when he started his spree.
Yeah.
And when he was paroled, I read that no one anticipated that level of brutality. Even authorities were shocked by how violently he had escalated. I guess there was another parolee came out at the same time who they were worried about because he had killed some people. And,
What?
Oh,
wow.
Once their time is up, it's up. There's nothing
That's
they
true.
can do. They have to
That's
let him
true.
go. So they were worried about this other guy. And then here's this Wimberly guy who they
never
didn't
saw it
expect.
coming.
They just expected him to start stealing again, but no.
Right,
No,
right.
He's murdering.
Yeah.
And then I also kept circling back to his denial about the Doris Lee
Thank
murder.
you. I really want to. I am so curious about this. What do you think?
Why did he refuse to admit killing her? Was it shame?
Yeah.
Maybe, I mean, I feel like he had rage towards his mother, but maybe after the fact he felt shame.
Yeah, because
I
she
don't know.
was the oldest one.
Yeah, she was
of the
like
victim.
62, I think.
Yeah.
And he put her in a closet and covered her with a blanket. So that suggests shame.
Yeah.
But what about her? I mean, she was an older lady, so that's the only thing I could think was maybe his mom.
Yeah, that was where my head went too. I was actually thinking about that. Like, was it her? I have age ? In my notes.
Or it could be, maybe she reminded him of his grandmother. I don't know. Who knows? But he did grow up in a household dominated by women, at least when he lived with his mom. It was his mom and his two sisters.
Yeah.
And his mom was described as verbally abusive at the least. So he probably harbored resentment towards women in general, towards her specifically.
Yeah.
In any case, this was a really sad one. The two twin babies whose mom was murdered
my God.
Everything around Christmas and New Year's. And it's pretty sad.
Yeah, it's a really devastating, I think, case in general for no matter like any angle you look at it, top, bottom, front, back.
Yeah.
It's just really sad. And I was thinking too about his growing up around women and, his childhood was described as chaotic. But I looked at the part about his mom looking for jobs in all these other states. And I don't know. And I agree with you. I couldn't tell if she went with him. I thought he did go with her, but I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But like that moving around, and I'm thinking about my own family, like moving our kids around, looking for something better, and the toll that can take on a young person.
Yeah.
Even though mom's goal is to like find you the best and safest place. And I don't know about his mom because, there's a lot of other stuff
other stuff going on. Yeah.
Yeah. But like,
who knows?
I
Maybe
wonder,
at that time she was trying to better herself, better her life.
Yeah. And I thought that like seemed good. Like throughout his story, there were little, in my mind, glimmers like, oh, his mom's looking for a better life for him. Or, he got caught for this thing and he's going to get punished for it, and presumably he should come out a rehabilitated human being. But none of that happened.
No.
I also think part of it is most of his life was like incarcerated or and
it really was from the time he was 14.
Yeah. And so he never any potential for greatness, because there was like he excelled in sports even though he wasn't really great at school. And there was something else that when he was incarcerated the first time, no disciplinary anything. Like the potential, I think, was there for things to go the other way. And I'm still like scratching my head. What is
what
the thing?
hell? Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah.
And I keep going back to prison doesn't really rehabilitate anybody.
It seems to make people worse.
If anything, it makes people a lot worse. And it only took 2 months after he got out for him to do all this really horrific things to other human beings.
Yeah.
And like, what is
happened?
the thing?
Yeah.
What happened to you in there
to
lead to that? And so I'm still wondering, but that's what I'm leaning toward is whatever happened to him behind those bars really made him a bad person. But now here we are. He's incarcerated somewhere and he's like Pastor Wemberly.
Yeah.
You know, like, why couldn't you reform sooner before hurting all these
murdering people?
Yeah. And that is just
sad
like,
too.
What
like a waste of a life.
Yeah. And a waste of other people's lives. Like he got to be judge, jury, and executioner of 3 people and completely
terrorize them too.
Yeah.
You know?
And terrorize a whole community for, again, this period of end of the year. You know, it's commercialized with Christmas, but really it's, the season is changing. You can't go outside. So it's a time to reflect and be around people that you love and stay indoors and stay warm and all that stuff. And a time that's normally filled with love and warm feelings. And Wemberly elicited none of those.
He ruined
during this
it.
holiday season.
Yeah.
Yes, he definitely ruined Christmas.
Yeah.
You know, the Grinch, I actually have great admiration for because I think the Grinch is really about racism and people weren't nice to the Grinch and that's why he was so bad to people. But this is like a real Grinch.
Yeah.
A
murderous Grinch.
Like murderous person who, for reasons that are still unclear to me, just wanted to inflict carnage upon anybody he could, any opportunity.
Yeah.
To sort of bring other people down to where he was, he took, and that is just so nasty.
Yeah.
You know what? He is not on the Christmas good person list. What is that list that Santa has?
Person?
No.
The naughty or nice?
He's
on the naughty list.
on the naughty list. And yeah, it's almost kind of like whiplash inducing because at every opportunity to do something good, he didn't take it.
Yeah.
He just did the bad thing.
Yeah.
Wimberly, bad choices. I was going to say his first name.
Bad choices.
Anthony,
Wimberly.
bad choices, Wimberly. Yes, that's him.
That's
and
the
then,
story.
Can't forget about the 3 people who lost their lives and that there were people who loved them and missed them, especially around this time of year. And that doesn't go away, right?
Yeah.
The missing those people and the victims who survived who have to sort of be reminded of what happened to them. I don't know. My heart just goes out to everybody touched by this. Our heart here at Fruit Loops goes out to everybody affected by this, and rest in power to those 3 victims. So yeah, let us know what y'all think.
Yeah.
All right, Beth, where can the people find us?
Our website is fruitloopspod.com, and we use Fruit Loops Pod for all of our social media. The footnotes for each episode can be found on our website. Plus, check it out for the different ways that you can support the show. You can also join us on Patreon, where we have hundreds of hours of bonus content. You can also support us by supporting our sponsors, or by giving us a 5-star review.
5 stars only, please.
Don't forget to subscribe.
That's right. Now, this is a weekly podcast, and episodes drop on Thursdays. So until next time, look alive, y'all. It's crazy out there.
Should
quick
we
sip.
get started?
Quick sip. Feeling a little parched. Okay.
All right. So before we get into this timeline of the
Mission San Jose in 1990 or 1997. No, Mission San Jose in
throughout the 19th and early 17th century. Right.
Mm-hmm.
The landscape.
You did it too.
I did it.
Now I also forgot where we are.
Against this backdrop.
Thank you. It's unclear whether he accompanied her during. He did not have a long rap sheet. Oh, although why am I inventing words? I'm sorry. When old Whitey gets back, he's like, whatever you need, I got you. I just want to sleep. Just let me sleep.
Yeah.
Everybody leave me alone. I'm just going to sleep and let my brain recharge. Rest. So sorry in advance. Wimberley's. Is it Wimberley or Wimberley?
It's Wimberley.
I was like, have I been saying it wrong this whole time?
The whole time? Why didn't you correct me?
Beth, you're supposed to be my smart friend. Okay. Sorry to cut you off.
Okay. You're next.
Oh.
You're up.
For some reason I thought, okay. You know what? Why don't we just pretend I'm not here? So prosecutors just ignore me.
I can't do that.
You can't? Dang it. So I'm so sorry. I really thought you had more to read, but
nope,
anyway,
that was it.
You probably need new glasses. Under pressure. One therapist testified Wimberley's pent up. Okay, this is a tongue twister. He is not on the Christmas good person list. What is that list that Santa has?
Person? No, the naughty or nice.
He's
on the naughty list.
On the naughty list.
So I just thought of something earlier. We were talking about the Japanese internment. Mm-hmm. And I bought a book George Takei wrote. It's a graphic novel about his experience in a Japanese internment camp when he was a boy.
Wow.
And I bought it for my grandson. And I was telling him about it. You know, I told him the background, why there was this World War II and Japan had attacked Pearl Harbor. And then people in the United States decided to put all people with Japanese ancestry into these internment camps. And my grandson turned to me and said, "That's racist." Like an 11-year-old boy could see it's like like just so obvious that it's racist. Yeah.
Oh my God. I have hope for the future.
For the future. Suddenly
the kids see it. The kids know this is fucked up. This is not okay. No, I'm just, man, I really was worried about the future. And now I am not. Thanks for sharing that, Beth.
You're welcome. Okay, we did it.
We did it. We're going on vacation. We're taking a cruise and we're getting on planes and we're going someplace warm. No, we're not, because it's a recession and there's tariffs. Okay, my friend. All right. I love you.
Love you
and
too.
I'm going to get this audio in the drive, and we did it. We did it. Okay.
Merry
All right.
Christmas.
Nighty-night. Bye. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Love you. Bye.
Love you. Bye. All right. Love you. Peace.
Bye.
Hey, Ryan Reynolds here. Wishing you a very happy half-off holiday, because right now Mint Mobile is offering you the gift of 50% off unlimited. To be clear, that's half price, not half the service. And Mint is still premium unlimited wireless for a great price. So that means a half day. Yeah?
Give it a try at mintmobile.com/switch.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. New customer offer for first 3 months only. Speed slow after 35 gigabytes if network's busy. Taxes and fees extra. See mintmobile.com.